up each morning to close my eyes and show gratitude. Thank the universe for my positive attitude. I thank you for the lessons. I thank you for the blessings. Thank you for showing me the way. Discipline every day. Open my eyes and I feel like I'm in a different space. What is up? It's your girl Maya Bianici back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about the experience that I had with buying my first home. And I think it's something that needs to be talked about because people don't know what goes on when you're buying your first home. They don't know where to start and they don't know the process. So I'm just going to drop a few things on you that happened to me in the buying process, okay? So let's just slide right into that video. Okay, so when I felt ready to buy a home, I was forced to go out to purchase a home. A lot of things was going on in my life and I needed somewhere to be. And I didn't at the time want to rent again, okay? I didn't want to be a renter. I wanted to be an owner. And I already had made up my mind a few years before that I wanted to own my home. So years before I even thought about applying for an application for a mortgage loan, I already had made up my mind. I had already been looking at homes, and it kind of somehow manifested in my life years down the line. So what I want to say is, starting out, if you do not have a realtor, realtors are free. You do not have to pay for them. So you can just go out and find a realtor or find a home that you're interested in looking at, and then that realtor will contact you, and that person can be your realtor unless you have your own personal realtor, first of all. Okay, my realtor is awesome sauce, okay? She really is. She helped me. She was patient with me, even in the times when I wasn't even sure that I had the right amount of money to purchase a home. Nonetheless, if I was going to be able to get the loan so that I could buy a home. Now, it's good to know people, all right, that already have experience purchasing a home, okay? Through word of mouth, I heard about this program, so I ended up taking a home ownership class, which I think is a good idea for most people to do so that you can learn the process of owning a home, meaning you learn about home equity, you learn about lenders, you learn about your credit score and what you need to do to get your credit score up if it's low. You learn about all of these things, so that's why I think it's important that you maybe take a home ownership class before you go out and purchase your first home. That class taught me a lot about the process, as well as when I got into finding a home, okay? When I got into finding the home, I thought I found the home that was going to be mine, all right? I thought that. Here's what happened, okay? I paid the deposit money, or the, what is it called? You pay a $100 option fee, and then you put this deposit money down so that the home is yours. Okay, I paid the option fee. Okay, so an option fee is $100, and what you do during that option fee, it can be a 5-day option fee or a 10-day option fee. I opted for the 10-day option fee. The option fee allows you to go out and have all of your inspections done, have your surveys done, and what's the other thing I'm missing? What is it? Your inspections, your surveys, and I mean like pest inspections, making sure that the house is on solid ground, making sure the foundation is okay. Those are the type of inspections that you should have. I'm missing something and I don't know what it is. There's another inspection. Anywho, maybe I'll think about it later on. But that's what the 10-day option fee is for. Oh, the appraisal. That's what I'm missing. And your appraisal. And what an appraisal is an appraiser would come out and look at the house, analyze the house, look at the roof, look at everything, okay? The yard, the square footage of it, how many rooms in there, how many bathrooms. It would basically look at the overall foundation of your home. And then they appraise an amount that they think your home is worth, also based off of the homes surrounding you, okay? So, with my first home that I chose, all right, and I paid for all of these fees and these inspections, and they wanted over $100,000 for this home, which I was okay with. Let me just go back. Okay, let me go back first before I get to that story. Okay, so when you're buying a home, you either, if you got it like that, you pay full cash for your home, which makes the process go faster because then you don't need lenders and underwriters, okay? So if you do not have that kind of cash, okay, then you need a lender. So you go to either your bank or someone who's offering mortgage loans, okay? My lender was through the program that I took the home ownership class, so I didn't have to do any of that. So you find a lender, okay? You have to have an approval letter, people, okay, when you're buying a home. That shows that you're a serious buyer, okay? So a bank has to approve you this certain amount of money for you to go out and buy a home. That's now the amount of money that you get approved for is based on your credit score, okay? So if your credit score is low, you need to work on getting your credit higher, okay? And that's going to determine how much money they approve you for. So, and it also determines the amount of home that you can purchase. All right, now back to where I was in my story. Okay, so I got all my appraisals, the appraisal and the inspections. The appraisal came back, and the home appraised for $15,000 lower than the asking price. Now, within those 10 days, you have the option, or the buyer has the option now that they got the appraisal back, because a buyer cannot sell their home for higher than the amount that it appraises for, first of all. So if you're out looking at a $100,000 home, you want that home, you come back and it appraises for $85,000, then they have to sell you that home for $85,000 or not, which is what happened to me. They chose not to sell that home at the appraisal price, which made me lose money through inspections, and inspections can be anywhere from $300 to $500, okay? So it made me lose money, but I didn't lose faith in looking for another home. It was on to the next for me. That's how I felt, because at that time in my life, I needed a place to stay. So just know that that's part of the process. You may lose money during the process. Okay, so then I found this home that I'm in now, that I'm currently in the process of selling. But we're not going to talk about selling right now. We're going to talk about my experience with buying. So now I'm in this home, and the same process goes into it, you know. I still have to do inspections. Again, I still have to do appraisals. It's all a process, and it takes time. You know, it took anywhere from a month to almost 2 months for the whole process to be finalized, you know, especially when you're having to deal with lenders and underwriters, and everybody has to fill out all these paperwork, and there's a lot of paperwork to fill out, and a lot goes into it. So, if you're buying your first home, I want you to be patient in the process, okay? Don't try to rush things along. Don't try to force things to be. Just allow it to be. The way I look at it, it wasn't meant for me to be in that home. Maybe it wasn't meant for me to be in that neighborhood. So I was cool with that. But this is a much better neighborhood. And more on the side of town that I prefer to stay in. So there it is. It wasn't something that I really wanted. I was just settling for it. And, you know, God, the universe, wouldn't allow me to settle for less. So, that being said, you know, in the process, it's a lot. It's a lot, so don't get overwhelmed by it. It's a lot of papers to sign, like I said. They'll be sending you papers either through e-sign, which is an app where you just read over everything and you initial it right there in the app. You know, you don't have to like continue to go in the office and all of that. Now, buying your first home. After you've bought your home, okay, you've moved in, and you understand what equity is. Equity is the amount that accumulates after you've lived in the home for a while. Is the amount. Okay, so when you're paying your monthly bill, okay, you have to have mortgage insurance, first of all. That's part of it, okay? So you're paying your mortgage amount, your mortgage insurance, and you're paying, you're also going to have to pay for your taxes each year. And you could pay the mortgage insurance. No, that's not right. You do have to pay for your taxes each year. Or you can pay for it as a part of the mortgage payment. I opted to pay mine through my escrow, which escrow is the money that you're paying monthly on your home, right? Your mortgage payment. They take some of that for interest, some of that towards principal, and then the rest of it goes into an escrow account to where that escrow builds up to where you can pay that homeowner's insurance, is what I meant to say. You can pay that homeowner's insurance and those taxes in the escrow if the right amount of money or enough money is in your escrow to pay it. Now, with that being said, okay, taxes have to be paid every year. Homeowner's insurance. Why I keep saying mortgage? Homeowner's insurance has to be paid every year or throughout the mortgage payment in its totality. So, be prepared for that. That's all I'm saying. You have to have homeowner's insurance. What was I going to say? I was going to say that, you know, with taxes, it makes you feel like you never really own the property that you own. That's how I feel, because I'm constant. Even if you were to pay off your home entirely, okay, you still have to pay taxes on that land. So it's like you really never even own anything, because you're constantly having to pay these taxes on the land, even if your home is paid off. And even if you don't pay those taxes, okay, and your home is paid off and you live on that home and you haven't paid your taxes in years, then guess what? They're going to come in, they're going to auction off your land and the home that's sitting on your land. You can't get out of that. But it's just another thing to think about when you're buying a home. Because at this point right now in my life, I'm thinking, I get why people continue to rent, it's not a lot going on, but it's just the idea that you don't really own anything. I'm starting to see that you don't really own anything. But if you have any questions, just hit me down in the comments. You have any questions about I wanted to tell y'all what I talked about, interest and principal. Okay, so let me just drop this little bit of knowledge on you if you don't know what I'm talking about. When I mentioned that you have to pay mortgage, interest, and principal when you pay, that's what goes into paying your mortgage payment. Okay, so what interest is the interest that accumulates after however long you decide that you're going to pay. You can do like a 15-year loan, a 30-year loan is normally the highest, okay? So over the 30 years that you're paying for this home, okay, that interest builds up. And what interest is the amount of extra money that you're paying to live in this home, okay? So the quicker you pay something off, the faster, and that goes back to your credit as well. The quicker you pay off those credit card bills, those medical bills, car loans, whatever, the quicker you pay it off, the better, okay? So interest accumulates. So let's just say this. Let's just say, you come across some money and you want to pay 20 G's on your home, okay? You want to go in and you want to drop it 20 G's on your home. Don't just go there, okay? Don't go to that bank and be like, I want to pay $20,000 down on my home to make it lower. First of all, the payment is not going to lower. It's still going to be the same amount of payment. Second of all, if you ever decide you want to do that, make sure you tell them to put it towards the principal amount. The principal amount is the amount that you actually owe on the home, not including interest. Okay? So make sure that you specify that you want to put this on the principal amount. I learned this a while back when I was purchasing a car, and I paid it off before it was time for it to pay off. And I learned all of this about principal and interest, because you don't want to pay this money and it's going toward interest, okay? Because let's just say your monthly mortgage is $700 a month. About $300 of that is going towards interest, okay? About $80 of that, depending on how far along you are in years of being in that home, about $80 of that is going in principal, and then the rest of it is going into escrow. So the more you owe, the less goes towards principal. The less you owe, the more goes towards principal, okay? So the more you owe, all right, the more goes towards interest. So it's like the opposite. So just make sure that if you decide to pay anything off, it don't even have to be your home, it can be your car. Make sure you tell them to put, or any extra I should say, make sure you tell them to put it towards the principal amount. And that's just a little knowledge that I feel like everybody needs to know. Now, buying a home can be exciting, okay? It can be exciting. I did not talk about down payments. Okay, let me just talk about that for a second. I'm not prepared for this video. I'm just kind of going off of what I remember in my experiences. So, down payments, all right? When you're buying a home, the buyer will pay part of your down payment. Normally, it's about $3,000, okay? If there's anything extra that you have to pay. Like you have to pay your lenders. You do have to pay them 3%. That's normally taken out of. You don't pay them. You know, you yourself. That's taken out of the whole process, the whole amount. Okay, they get 3%. And then you may have to pay if you don't have enough. Okay, when you're buying a home, they ask you to put at least 20% down on the price. So if you're buying $100,000 home, you need 20% of that, which is $20,000. So make sure that you have some money. You can't just depend on that mortgage loan that you got from the bank. You have to have some cash, okay? You have to have saved up your own amount of cash, all right? Now, that's just for the down payment. You still have to pay for closing costs, okay? And the closing costs can be anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 or $7,000. I'm just saying. So that's another thing to think about. Your closing costs, you have to pay for that. Your moving costs, you know, include all of that in when you're coming up with the amount that you need for purchasing a home. All right? Don't let me scare you. It's not scary. You know, it was an easy, wonderful process. And I just share my experience with you. You know, I probably looked at over 20 homes in the process of finding my home. Okay? You just go with it. You know what you like, and you know what you don't like, and you know what you want, and you know what you don't want. So just focus on the things that you like and the things that you want, and you will find the perfect home for you and your family. I thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions about home ownership or buying a home, or if you're already bought a home and you have questions, okay, hit me down in the comments. I'm here to answer those questions. If you have any advice, hit me in the comments. You know, I'm here to talk about the things that I've experienced so that I can share them with you and maybe make your experience a little bit better. Hit the subscribe button, okay, for your girl. Hit that thumbs up button if you like this video, and hit the bell notification so that you are notified when your girl uploads another video. Again, thank you for coming back each and every week. I appreciate you. I thank you. I love you. Have a great day. Peace. Keep that high energy and positivity. You know I'm built different because I give different. All of these things combined allow me to live different.